What if I told you that your darkest impulses, your most selfish desires, your burning rage, your crippling apathy are not entirely your own? What if these flaws, codified by history as the 7 deadly sins, are not just concepts, but territories? Territories ruled by ancient, powerful entities, beings who personify these very concepts. For millennia, humanity has sought to understand the nature of evil, and in that search, we created a registry of our own failings: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. But in the shadowy corners of theology and demonology, these are not mere abstractions. They are the domains of 7 powerful beings, 7 arch-demons, 7 princes of hell. This classification was most famously systematized in 1589 by a German bishop named Peter Binsfeld. He assigned a specific high-ranking demon to each sin, creating a dark cabinet of corruption. These are not just boogeymen. They are explanations, metaphors for the darkness that whispers to us from the void. Today, we journey into that void. We will unmask the 7 demon lords who rule the deadly sins. This is the Frequency Station.
We begin with the sin from which all others are born, the root of all corruption, pride, the sin of extreme self-importance, the belief that one is superior to all others, even to the divine. It is the original sin, the crack that broke the foundation of creation. And the entity who embodies this catastrophic arrogance is the most infamous of them all, Lucifer. The name itself means light bringer or morning star. He was not always a prince of darkness. He was once the most beautiful, the most powerful, the most radiant of all angels. He was heaven's masterpiece. His story is the ultimate tragedy of pride. It is said he believed his own light rivaled that of his creator. He refused to bow. He whispered rebellion, convincing a third of heaven's host to rise with him. The war that followed was apocalyptic, splitting the cosmos. It was a war born not of hatred, but of pride. When he was cast out, his beauty was not destroyed, but corrupted. He is often depicted as a devastatingly beautiful, androgynous being. His wings, once pure white, are now scorched black, or resemble shattered obsidian. His eyes burn not with warmth, but with a cold, intelligent, and unending pride. He is the adversary who believes he should have won. Lucifer's method of temptation is subtle. He doesn't tempt with monstrous acts. He tempts with a simple thought. You deserve better. You are smarter. You are above the rules. He is the whisper that turns confidence into arrogance and ambition into tyranny. He is the master of the self and the architect of the fall.
Next, we explore the insatiable hunger, the void that can never be filled, greed or avarice. It is the desire for material wealth and possessions taken to a destructive extreme. It is the belief that value lies not in the soul, but in the hoard. This domain belongs to Mammon. The name itself is Aramaic for wealth or money. In the New Testament, Jesus famously states, "You cannot serve both God and Mammon." This statement elevated Mammon from a simple concept of wealth to a personified entity of temptation. Mammon is often described as one of the chief devils, an archdemon who was among the last to fall from heaven, because his gaze was always turned downward, admiring the golden pavement of the celestial city. He supposedly taught humanity to mine the earth, to rip open the planet's core in search of treasures that would ultimately corrupt them. His appearance is grotesque, a twisted reflection of his sin. He is sometimes depicted as a golden idol, a wolf-like demon, or most famously as a bloated, corpulent nobleman with twisted, goat-like features. Gold coins spill from his pores, and his touch causes life to decay, leaving only cold, hard metal behind. Mammon rules the modern world. His influence is seen in the stock market crashes, the corporate exploitation, and the individual who sacrifices family, health, and morality for one more dollar. He doesn't promise power like Lucifer. He promises things, and he ensures that no matter how much you acquire, it will never, ever be enough.
We now turn to the most primal and chaotic of impulses, lust. This is not the sin of love or intimacy. This is the sin of uncontrolled, obsessive, and destructive desire. It is the impulse that consumes reason, shatters vows, and reduces individuals to the sum of their physical cravings. The master of this domain is one of the most feared demons in all of lore, Asmodeus. His origins predate Binsfeld and are rooted in ancient Zoroastrian and Jewish texts, specifically the Book of Tobit. He is not just a tempter, he is a violent and jealous entity. In the Book of Tobit, Asmodeus is the demon of desire who becomes obsessed with a woman named Sarah. He prevents her from ever consummating her marriage, slaying 7 of her husbands on their wedding night, not out of hatred for them, but out of a jealous lust for her. He is the ultimate gatekeeper of corrupted desire. His form is one of the most terrifying in demonology. He is described in the Ars Goetia as a great king, riding a dragon with a lion's neck and bearing a lance. Most disturbingly, he has 3 heads, one of a man, one of a bull, and one of a ram. These heads represent the unbridled, animalistic nature of pure, unthinking lust. Asmodeus is the patron of brothels, the spark of infidelity, and the force behind obsessive relationships. He is the whisper that says, "Your desires are all that matter. Take what you want, regardless of the cost." He seeks to sever the connection between the heart and the body, leaving only a hollow, burning appetite. Now we look at the poison of the soul, the sin that cannot enjoy its own blessings for a moment because it is too busy counting the blessings of others. Envy. It is a bitter resentment, a corrosive jealousy that wishes to spoil what it cannot possess. And who better to represent this all-consuming sin than the great chaos monster of the deep, Leviathan. Before he was a demon, Leviathan was a primordial entity mentioned in the Old Testament, a colossal sea serpent, a creature of such immense power that only its creator could control it. How did this sea monster become the symbol for envy? Theologians saw Leviathan as the ultimate symbol of chaos and the hell mouth itself, an endless gaping maw that sought to consume all of creation, jealous of its very existence.
Envy is the desire to pull everything down to your own level of misery, just as Leviathan pulls ships down into the crushing dark abyss. Leviathan is not a humanoid demon. It is a force of nature, a serpent of impossible scale, its body miles long, coiled in the lightless trenches of the ocean. Its scales are like interlocking shields, impervious to weapons. Its eyes glow like burning embers, and its very breath is a tempest. It is the ocean's rage and jealousy given form. Envy's temptation is the poison of comparison. It is the voice that scrolls through social media and whispers, "Why them? Why not you?" Their happiness is an insult to your suffering. Envy, like Leviathan, dwells in the dark, cold depths of the psyche, waiting to drag any passing joy down into the abyss.
We come to the sin of consumption, the failure of self-control, gluttony. This sin is not just about overeating. It is about all forms of overconsumption, excess and waste. It is the need to devour, to absorb, to leave nothing for anyone else. The lord of this domain is a being whose name is synonymous with filth, Beelzebub. This name is a corruption of an older Canaanite god, Baal-zebul, which meant lord of the high place. In a show of theological dominance, Hebrew scholars twisted his name to Beelzebub, or Lord of the Flies. He became the personification of decay. Where there is a feast, he brings the rot. Where there is consumption, he brings the swarm. In Demonology, he is ranked second only to Lucifer, a prince of hell who commands legions of demons. He is the corruption that follows excess. Beelzebub is often depicted as a monstrous, fly-like humanoid, a grotesque, bloated creature with insectoid wings and multifaceted eyes, and a constant, sickening buzz surrounding him. He sits on a throne of refuse, bones, and molding food, a lord presiding over a kingdom of decay. Beelzebub influence is the urge for more, even when you are full. It's the addiction, the compulsive need to consume, whether it's food, media, or resources. He encourages a culture of waste, where nothing is ever savored, only devoured before moving on to the next thing, leaving a trail of rot in your wake.
Next, the sudden, violent inferno of emotion. Wrath. This is not righteous anger. This is unbridled, destructive rage. It is the impulse that seeks to annihilate, to punish, to inflict pain. It is the storm that destroys the field rather than watering it. Binsfeld assigned this sin to the ultimate adversary, Satan. While this name is often used interchangeably with Lucifer, in this context, Satan represents a different aspect of evil. If Lucifer is the cold, calculating pride of the mind, Satan is the hot, impulsive rage of the beast. The name Satan means the accuser or the adversary. He is the prosecutor in the divine court, the one who tests the faith of mortals, as seen in the book of Job. In this role, he is associated with punishment, fire, and destruction. He is the force that argues for humanity's damnation using our own rage against us. While Lucifer is often beautiful, Satan is monstrous. He is the classic bestial demon, a towering, crimson-skinned warrior wreathed in shadow and fire. He carries great horns, cleaven hooves, and wields a weapon of war, a flaming sword or a spear. He is the personification of war and destruction itself. Satan's temptation is the justification of rage. He is the voice that says, "You have been wronged. They deserve to suffer." He fuels the vendetta, the desire for revenge, the road rage, the anonymous anger of the internet. He urges you to let the fire burn, to seek destruction rather than resolution, until you and everything around you are reduced to ash. Finally, we arrive at the most subtle and perhaps the most dangerous sin of all, sloth. This is not simple laziness. It is spiritual, physical, and mental apathy. It is the sin of giving up. It is the despair that leads to inaction, the refusal to use one's gifts, the choice to simply stop. This quiet wasteland is the domain of Belphegor. His name comes from the Moabite god Baal-Peor, the Lord of the Opening. This opening has been interpreted in many dark ways, but most often it refers to a void, an emptiness. Belphegor is a complex demon. He is the demon of apathy, but also, paradoxically, the demon of discoveries and inventions. His lazy method is to tempt mortals with ingenious inventions that will make life easier, but ultimately make them more sedentary, more reliant, and more spiritually hollow. He promises ease, but delivers stagnation. He has two common depictions. One is as a beautiful, seductive woman who promises wealth and ease. The other, more infamous form is that of a grotesque, bearded demon with a perpetually open mouth sitting upon a commode or a toilet-like throne. This grotesque image is the ultimate symbol of useless, stagnant energy. Belphegor is the demon of later. He is the desire to hit the snooze button on life. He whispers, "What's the point? It's too hard. It doesn't matter. Just rest." He doesn't destroy you with fire. He destroys you with comfort until your muscles, your mind, and your soul atrophy into nothing. Lucifer, Mammon, Asmodeus, Leviathan, Beelzebub, Satan, Belphegor. 7 princes of hell, 7 lords of sin. Are they real, tangible entities warring for our souls in some unseen dimension? Are they ancient gods, demonized by new religions? Or are they something more intimate? Are they simply the names we have given to the darkest parts of ourselves? Metaphors for the inner demons we all must face. Perhaps the distinction doesn't matter, because the void Binsfeld tried to map is not an external place. It is a territory within the human heart. And the battle against these demons is one we fight every single day. The question is, which one is winning?